I hope that your preparation is going well. And this is another question from CSAT 2024. This is a tricky question, and it calls for doing some inference based on the passage, the information that the passage contains. So it calls for some processing of it. Let's see how to do it and how to eliminate the wrong options. Anyone who wishes to solve it on your own can pause the video, solve the passage, and then later on join to check how to eliminate the points. So yes, here the passage goes. Green growth involves rethinking growth strategies with regards to the impacts on environmental sustainability and environmental resources available to poor. So it contains two things, environmental sustainability and the resources available to poor and vulnerable groups. In rethinking growth, we need to focus on current reality of resource constrained world. So it is speaking about resource constrained world. Resource intensive and in particular energy intensive process will need to make way for more efficient and resource frugal development strategies if we are to avoid an economic dead end. All right, if we need to avoid an economic dead end or a world in which only a small elite is able to enjoy affluence in the midst of sea of poverty. If we want to eliminate or overcome these two challenges, economic dead end or wherein there is inequality, we have to make way for energy efficient and frugal development strategy. And this is about rethinking growth strategies. So let's move directly to the question and see how to apply this understanding of the passage. Which one of the following statements best reflects the crux of the above passage? Point number A. Environmental sustainability is inimical to our objectives of achieving a high rate of GDP growth. Again, it might happen that many people do not understand the meaning of this word. Still, how to check whether this is right or wrong? Let's move to the second half of this. To our objective of achieving a high rate of GDP growth. Now, nowhere in this passage deals about the rate of GDP growth. Rate of GDP is nowhere mentioned, right? It is nowhere mentioned. So again, this is the wrong point. So if even if any part of the option is wrong, this is the wrong option and can be eliminated. Do not get struck with if you don't know the meaning of this word. Just check that every part of the option must be correct. So this part is wrong, therefore this option is eliminated. Point number two. Poverty eradication is not possible without a rapid economic growth and the consequent environmental degradation. All right. So it is saying that if there is rapid economic growth, this will lead to eradication of poverty, but there will be environmental degradation associated with it. But the crux is saying that we need to rethink such kind of strategy. Rethink such strategy. Therefore, this is the wrong option. This is the usual point that goes. But the author wants us to rethink this strategy, and therefore, this is not the crux of the passage. It is asking us to change the strategy. Therefore, let's move to point number C. Maintaining high environmental standards is now a prerequisite for achieving a steady, sufficient, and inclusive growth. Fine. Now, this is what the new strategy is, and this is what these 2 points cover. If we want to avoid economic dead end and if we want to avoid inequality, we need to ensure there is high environmental standards, that is green growth. So this is what is the main crux, that if we want to eliminate the inequality or we need to promote inclusive growth or have a steady sufficient growth, you need to have a high environmental standards as a prerequisite. Therefore, this covers all points covered. Therefore, this is the right answer. Let's move to point number D again. With large population, rampant poverty, and limited resources of today's world, environmental degradation cannot be prevented and inequalities are inevitable. No, this is what the author wants us to change. So therefore, it is possible by new ways. It is possible by newer ways, new ways. So this is not the author want to convey. It wants to convey that you need to rethink your existing strategies, and that is what point number C covers. Therefore, you need to understand all the points that is given in the passage, and then you need to eliminate options. Elimination is the key, but still you need to understand. Elimination is the key, but you need to understand that without understanding all the key points that is covered in the passage, you will not be able to eliminate the points correctly. Therefore, keep practicing, guys. Keep focusing on elimination of points, not just here, but also in your GS papers. It is really handy, and hope that you make through the prelims of CSAT of 2025. So, guys, keep practicing and best wishes.